Hey, while you're here, hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell because that'll give you notifications every single time a new video drops. And also, it helps to keep this channel alive and growing. Thank you in advance. Now let's get back to the program. What's up? This is the BBN, Jack Frost speaking. And this is the Sweet Science. And first thing I want to say is that was just a really, really good fight between Kell Brook and Errol Spence Jr. And the reason why the fight wasn't necessarily good is just because, I know how y'all like to see the guys get hit in the face all the time. The most punches thrown and somebody has to be leaving out in the stretcher half dead for some people to be able to enjoy boxing. But what I saw a lot of strategy. And I think that it was just a lot of strategy. On both sides. I think that first of all, Kell Brook gets stopped in the 11th. I thought he was going to get stopped in the 10th, but Kell Brook gets stopped in the 11th. I prognosticated that he was going to get stopped in the 10th. That's what I believe. But in the 10th round, he probably should have got stopped. He probably should not have came out for the 11th. Seriously. In the 10th round, it just looked really bad for him. And in my opinion, I don't think he should have came out for the 11th. That's just my opinion. But it was just, if it wasn't for Kell Brook's, let's say, experience and athleticism, I don't think he makes it to the 11th round. This kid, Errol Spence Jr., he is just tough. And he sets you up for them body shots. And at the same time he's setting you up for those body shots, he's setting you up to go up top. So it was just a really, really tough fight by Kell Brook. I think that he showed that he is definitely a warrior. And the thing about it is, in his fight against Gennady Golovkin, remember, his right eye had got damaged. In this fight, his left eye had got damaged. I don't think I see Kell Brook moving up. Kell Brook it would not be in his advantage to move up to anything over 147 in my opinion, because the hard punches, unless he figures out a way to move that head, them hard punches is just, his eyes is just going to be problems. He might have problems with his eyes for the rest of his career. I personally think that if he didn't go up to fight Gennady Golovkin, then he wouldn't have overcompensated so much to try to protect that side of his face and got the other side of his face hit so much. It's like when you have a bad knee. So when you're walking, you're overcompensating with your other leg or your hip or your ankle or whatever the case may be. Then the next thing you know, your knee isn't just bad, but you have another part of your body that aches and pains from overcompensation. And that's what I think basically happened in this fight. He was trying so hard not to get hit in his right eye, his left eye, that he was just in his right eye. He was trying so hard not to get hit in his right eye. That's the right eye that the eye socket had to be reconstructed or whatever the hell they had to do to him, that he was just getting hit, and the other side it was just lots of damage. And Errol Spence Jr. hit so hard. And I know a lot of people want to see Errol Spence Jr. against Keith Thurman, but I think Keith Thurman has other business he needs to tend to right now. And I would first like to see Errol Spence. And okay, I was thinking that after the fight, Sean Porter was going to walk into the ring and, offer up he wants a title shot. But I did not see Sean Porter, unless I missed it. Unless I walked out before the end and I missed something, I did not see Sean Porter fighting his way to the ring to talk about he wanted to fight Errol Spence Jr. I don't think anybody wants to fight Errol Spence Jr. right now. The only other person that has stopped Kell Brook has been Gennady Golovkin, and he's a freaking middleweight. I don't think anyone wants to fight Errol Spence Jr. right now. That kid is tough. He hits hard, and it's not about speed, it's about precision sometimes. It's not about how quick you are it's not about how fast you are. It's how quick you can do whatever it is that you're trying to do. And he just gets to the punch. Kell Brook early in the fight was beating him to the punch. I actually had Kell Brook winning the fight up until about the 5th round, the 5th or 6th round. I remember at one point I had Kell Brook with 3 pardon me, Kell Brook with 4 rounds and Errol Spence Jr. with 2 at one point. I gave Errol Spence Jr. the first round. Then I gave him, after that, I think I gave him like the 4th or the 5th round. And then I gave all the rest of the rounds up until about the 7th round to Kell Brook. And the wheels just fell off. I think that it was just an attrition thing. He couldn't stand up to the constant, because to Kell Brook's benefit, it would have been to Kell Brook's benefit if he could grab him a little and if they could get into the clinch. But Errol Spence Jr. does not accept clinches. He absolutely does not accept clinches. And then another thing he was doing is, Errol Spence Jr. is a southpaw, so his jab was with his right hand. And he was coming over the top with the jab. And then when he was coming over the top with the jab, he was then taking the right, coming over the top with the right jab. He was then taking the left to the body. And he was just, and after you catch a couple of them body blows, you're just going to start guarding down to your body. And then it would just look bad for Kell Brook. After about the 5th or 6th round, you could just see it wearing and tearing on him. You could just see the wear and tear. I can't think of anybody at 147 right now I think is going to beat Errol Spence. I mean, the best chance I think of anybody at 147 beating Errol Spence, probably Keith Thurman. Because the reason why I say that is because Garcia's a catch and shoot guy. You can't catch and shoot with Errol Spence Jr., just like you cannot catch and shoot with Keith Thurman. So Garcia's a catch and shoot guy. That's not going to work. Sean Porter, the way he rushes in, he's just going to be running into punches, so that's not going to work. See what he did to Kell Brook, who is probably, with the exception of Keith Thurman, the best boxer at 147. Just pure boxer at 147 is probably Kell Brook and Keith Thurman. And see what he did to Kell Brook. Kell Brook just physically couldn't hold up to the pressure. And remember, Thurman at one time, he had got in trouble with Collazo when Collazo hit him to the body and shook him up. So I could just imagine what old Collazo being able to do that, what a young Errol Spence Jr. would be able to do with them body shots. I mean, this kid. So Errol Spence Jr., I don't see him losing anytime soon. And on top of that, to add insult to injury, I don't think that I don't think that Keith Thurman could beat him. I just don't think so. Keith Thurman is gonna have to show up in his next fight and be just so devastating, like just be devastating, in order for him to be able to win my faith back. And I'm a big Keith Thurman fan, so in order for him to win my faith back, he's gonna have to show up to the next fight and be devastating. Because after about the 5th or 6th round, there was no way Kell Brook was gonna win this. There was just no way. Even though he was up on the cards, there was no way. Just no way. Anyway, I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.